All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elected in 1/3. And Adawan Ratazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. And the Wada, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, this video needs to be revisited. Okay, so, I play this time and time again. All right, here at the camp, or I'll bring it up, off camera a lot. But it was just on my spirit to revisit this speech, okay, that the standing king of Babylon, all right, what he spoke about in 2016, all right, and this is the perfect time and opportunity, all right, for us to see in particular prophecies that we need to come to pass take place. And with this whole immigration, this is a perfect catalyst to be used, okay, to bring everybody on a digital identification platform. All right, now this in 2016, Donald J. Trump stated that they wanted to complete a biometric entry exit visa tracking system, which that didn't happen in his first term. So now after the Biden situation, they're using this character as a perfect tool, okay, as a patriotic tool to push for Americans to accept a digital enslavement, okay, which this is ultimately leading to, the MOTB. So let me let this play real quick, okay? This is fair use, all right? This is just for educational purposes only. So let me let this play real quick.
Great. We will finally complete the biometric entry exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens. Never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. On land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. Number 9.
You hear that? You hear that? Okay, and that's exactly what the MOTB is. All right, it's going to be a biometric identification device that will be put inside of the times that we're living in. We're looking at a great reset. Okay, you have I believe they just finally admitted, okay, with the SNAP situation. All right, so now he's weakening the general public. He's keeping people in a panic mode. All right, they're enforcing military. They've created a boogeyman. So now this is a perfect opportunity for the hunter to strike. This is Genesis 25 and 25. And let me also add this in too. A lot of people don't know, but the world is a stage. The American politics is nothing more than Hollywood. All right, they're all insiders. It's just like wrestling, okay? But this is Genesis 25 and 25. Let me see, 27. And it says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob, which we are Jacob, was a plain man dwelling in tents. And the tent represents the tabernacle of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. But right here, I just wanted to isolate this point that you're dealing with a cunning hunter. And a characteristic of any good hunter is to be patient. Let's actually look that up real quick. Okay, let's see. Let's put in to to be or not to be, to be a, oh man, my computer's a little slow. All right. To be a good hunter, does one need to be patient? Okay. Let's see. Or have patience, I should say. Okay. Let's see what comes up. Excuse me for my spelling. Yes. Patience is a crucial skill for a good hunter. Okay. So Esau Edom is the perfect guy to be used, all right, because he's also known as the Lord's sword, all right. So look, yes, patience is a crucial skill for a good hunter as it allows them to wait for the right moment, stay focused, and be observant, right? Like this administration is the perfect administration for them to heighten the level of security, the level of not non-privacy. Okay, just like with 911, that created the Patriot Act, which it took away your so-called freedom. So now what they're doing is they're using the talking point of illegal immigration as a means to crack down on this issue, globally, because now you have the UK rolling out a digital ID, and then I had asked about the biometric entry tracking system, and then I asked about it being could it have something to do with a digital ID, and it said yes. Okay, I said, could digital ID impossible R to the F to the I to the D, you see it, play a part in the system? And it says, here's a breakdown. Okay. It says right now, what's current as of 2025. Now, the CBP stands for the Customs and Border Protection. It says uses facial comparison biometric technology for travelers entering the U.S. by air at many locations. Okay, so they're already doing this. Now, we are citizens here, so we're not seeing a lot of things that people that are coming into Babylon are dealing with. You know, a lot of us don't leave the country. You know, we kind of are stationary to whatever city or state that we're in. But there is something that's taking place on a grand scale that the inner city of Jake hasn't seen yet, because this is a system that they're creating a border for it first, and then enforcement on those within. All right. Now this is Psalm 64:1. It says prayer for deliverance from secret enemies. Esau is a known enemy, but he plays this double-sided role. Even Gad calls him, he speaks with a forked tongue. It says, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Okay. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. See? All right. So he used this as a voting point for, but they're all set up. The votes don't matter, but they need the general public of people to accept these figures, so these figures or puppets can be used to usher in something on a higher scale. A prophetic agenda is taking place. Okay, so we can't forget about this speech that the standing president of Babylon stated in 2016, man, and we're in 2025. Okay, so let's go back. All right, and it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Yeah, we need to be hidden, because the counsel of the wicked is directed against us, okay, our nation, our people, all right, from the insurrection of the workers of inequity. See, so a great insurrection. And doesn't it say in 2nd Ezra 16 there should be a great insurrection? All right, this is happening. Okay, so let's go to the 1611 real quick. I got a couple things I want to show you. You know, and that's the lesson, man. All right, we are here. Okay, we are here. We are in the midst of these prophecies coming to pass. Okay, as we see them unfolding. All right, 2nd Ezra 16, and I believe it's around like 69 to 70. See, Second Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And I just want to add this in, even in history, during the Second World War, you had concentration camps, race wars, and Babylon still was able to go to a world war. Okay, so don't think just because there's issues going on right here that Babylon still can't enter war over there. This is a culmination of prophecy that's taking place. Look, let me see. I hope this computer doesn't mess up. Let's see. During World War II, was there race wars and concentration camps? Let's see what it says. I could have asked the Babel GPT, but let's just see what Google says, even though, look, yes, the second woe involved both race-based conflicts, nothing new under the sun, and the widespread use of sea camps. This is mostly predominantly seen in a systematic, okay, so we don't want, okay, right here, see, Ammonite, all right, Ammonite Americans in Babylon, okay? You see that? So during the Second War, Esau had enough resources to wage war on Jake and maintain a world war on the other side of the pond. Okay, so don't get it twisted for a second. Now from there, let's just look up insurrection. And wait a minute, isn't there an Insurrection Act? Insurrection. Let me see how you spell this word. Okay, insurrection. Let's look this up. Insurrection Act. What is the Insurrection Act? Okay, look, one day ago, Trump Insurrection Act, the strongest power a president has. Look at that. The scriptures already tell us that there will be an insurrection on Jake. And then you have the standing king of Babylon proclaiming to invoke a Insurrection Act. See? The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a U.S. federal law that empowers the president of Babylon to nationally deploy U.S. military and to federalize the National Guard's units of individuals. See? Okay. Look at this, man. All right. When was it invoked? The act has been invoked in response to 30 incidences, the latest of which was 1992. See? Okay. So with uproars of the people, all right, all you're going to need is another martyrdom situation. Okay. Some kind of conflict. Right now, they're spreading fake news about a video claiming that young so-called black men are claiming to threaten, so-called ICE agents. So they're literally gearing up, man. Okay, they're literally gearing up, and we're literally gonna watch this play out. When troops come, who is protected? The Insurrection Act and black communities. That is right here. Okay. Second Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And who fears the Lord? Jake. Okay. Now let's look up the definition. A violent uprising against an authority or government. Okay. So this is a rebellion, a revolt. Sedition is in the air, which makes prophecy be in the air. Okay. So this thing is happening, man. All right. So we're just waiting for the next rollout. All right. Just like with the government being shut down, we're waiting to see how they're going to respond coming back online. Okay. Or what's their next step, even though we know prophecy is going to be fulfilled. We're just waiting for the scenarios to play out that leads to that prophecy. So it's what scene is next for us to see the end results of what we already know. Psalm 64 and 2, it says, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And this is exactly what's happening. They're using bitter words to have the public accept any form of force that they use against Jake. Okay. But what the American public doesn't realize is as they are surrounding the Indian, they themselves are being surrounded too. Okay. Look, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So suddenly they're going to start making more and more moves, because let's actually ask this real quick. What states has Trump sent? Yep. What states? Let's see. Okay. So it looks like so far Chicago, Memphis, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles. And I know there's already military presence in New York. I remember when I went there years ago in 2016, you had troops at the bus stations and train stations. See? Why is Trump trying to deploy the National Guard to the U.S. cities? Because of prophecy, man. Okay? So you should be expecting some kind of double F. You should be expecting something for the snake to portray themselves as being attacked and now have to go on defense. This is the time that we're in. This is not just going to roll over, okay? America, Babylon is showcasing how they really feel about you, Jake, even down to the general public of people, okay? And then when this thing goes down, man, Jake is going to truly see that they're behind enemy lines, okay? Hey, and hey, what if the government starts offering rewards, financial rewards to you, turning your so-called neighbor in because they might be illegal or they might be a potential T, okay? That's what he's doing. He's truly beefing up Jake to the level of a weaponization that has to be dismantled. Okay. And Jake's wicked. You got your 2/3. All right. You got your 2/3, but this is leading to a bigger opportunity. This is for a new world order. This is why other countries are implementing a digital ID as well. Okay. So this is bigger. This is bigger than Nino Brown, but he's going to use Nino Brown. This is bigger than Nino Brown, but he's going to use Nino Brown. Look, one more time. All right. 2016, man. One more time.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk.
And then let me say this.
When there is action, it's always the.
Let me put my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat on, which I'll tell you a fun fact. The whole reason why they do tinfoil hats is because they actually gave a man the MOTB, and to stop the frequency bugging him out, he had to wrap aluminum around his head. I should actually show you that real quick. But look, so this was his speech, and this was talking point number 8, which 8 also represents 33. And then look, Phoenix rising out of the ashes. So that, you got symbolism within it. Maybe I'll do a lesson on that too. But yeah, you got to look that up real quick. See, now I'm going to do it for you. Man wrapped. Let's see how origin of tinfoil hat. Let's see if it explains. If it doesn't, I may have to do a lesson on it. I'll see right here. See? You see? It says the concept of the tinfoil hat originated in 1927, The Tissue Culture King by Julian Huxley, where characters use caps of metal foil to block telepathy. The term is now a symbol of paranoia, conspiracy theories, beliefs in tinfoil, blah, 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 blah. See right here. It says, have beliefs such as hats prevent mind control by government spies, and the MOTB had something to do with it. Okay, and let's put this in. Okay, I'm typing it, but I'm not saying it because I don't want any buzzwords to get this video clipped, even though I have freedom of speech. See, look, the conspiracy theory connecting tinfoil hats to the MOTB is a modern extension of an older myth about mind control by electromagnetic radiation. It evolved as a radio frequency identification technology, became more common and widespread. So there's some history to that, man. Okay, so they joke about it, but the individual that was known for it, basically they did things to him, and let's see right here. All right, so there's like a story on it. I may look more into it, but you could do your research on it. But this ties right in right now. The biometric, the digital identification. Okay, so he wants to put you on a grid, man. All right. Now remember the first Great Depression, what came out of it? Social Security number. So now this Great Depression, what's going to come out of it? The MOTB through the introduction of a digital ID. All right. Now let me just see real quick. I asked if it would bring into the digital ID. Okay. Yep. It says, could digital IDs play a part? Yes. Digital identity systems are already in use or being accepted. For example, the TSA, which they came out after 911, and the U.S. accepts digital IDs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we're here. All right, let's continue. This is Psalm 64 and 5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? See? So they have an agenda, and this is playing out, and they're going to get the weak first. This is why they're targeting things like food. Right, this is a perfect opportunity for the government to be shut down. It's a perfect opportunity for people to start feeling the squeeze and needing help and being in panic. So now people don't know what's going to go on, happen these upcoming so-called holidays, which they're hell days. So people are on edge. You got troops in the city. You got people wondering if they're going to get assistance for food. You got people wondering, is this guy an immigrant? So there's a lot of things in the air that has people, on edge. So it's a perfect time as a cunning hunter to strike its prey. Okay. You get them, you kind of bottleneck them. All right. You bottleneck them. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows, see, and what's a modern day widow today? A single mother, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And that's what? That's these millions of Americans, okay, single mother households, which he created that culture to now have their independence in question, because their independence was really masked by a falsehood of independence, because they were dependent on the government, but they proclaimed themselves as being independent, meaning they weren't dependent on a man, but instead the man. So now the man, all right, is pulling back his hand of these benefits that you've been receiving, and there's going to be judgment that comes through with that. That's why the scriptures speak about famines. This is why the scriptures speak about suddenly the storehouses shall be found empty. So we're in a great time of multiple prophetic scenes playing out right before our face. So we're going to watch and wait. So I just wanted to revisit
the wrong
this
decision. Do you ever notice?
Okay, I wanted to revisit this speech from 2016. This will be a perfect time for them to roll out some kind of biometric forced identification. And this is why you're seeing American citizens get arrested, because they need to bring order out of chaos, even though they're claiming to still do their job. So this is a perfect time for them to say, we need to differentiate who's an American citizen, who's not, and we got to get things rolling, this and that. And this is why you can never trust your enemy. Never trust your enemy. Okay, the next phase of this digital implementation is going to be the MOTB. Okay, they're going to bring out the digital ID. You're going to have to start having some kind of new form of acceptance of a system, but then there's going to be something that's going to lead to a mass hipping. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick lesson on that. I pray that it was edifying. Just continue to watch, continue to remain faithful. All right, we are being tried, but gold is tried in the fire. Acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. So we have to remain faithful, okay, so that we can be protected when this great hour of temptation comes. Okay, so remember the words of the devil. Don't let all the distractions, make you forget what he's been telling you in breadcrumbs. Okay, so just wanted to bring that video back out from 2016, and we're going to see how the rest of this plays out, even though we know what prophecies are going to play out. We're just waiting to see what scenarios are going to lead to that. So I pray that this lesson was edifying. I just want to say, call halal, abanawa Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And peace, safety, and salutations to the Lord's elect. And with that being said, shalom.